Next slide, please. So just to go over our agenda for tonight, it might not be exactly in order, but we'll be going as close as we can to this plan. We're going to have a guest speaker, Tina Peters, here in about 10 minutes. We're going to be going over the Mike Lindell's Moment of Truth Summit that many of us attended last weekend and giving you an update. You sent us there to get this information, and we're here to deliver to you. We're also going to go over some of the history of the recount that many of you were there to witness in person, including Phase 0, Phase 1, and upcoming Phase 2. Finally, we're going to talk about how you can assist us and continue to call to action through fundraising. So to get started on item number 2, let's go ahead into the Mike Lindell's Moment of Truth Summit. So we had several of our team members here today attend that, and one who isn't able to be here today, he's attending another conference in Texas. He's our number one networker, David Winnie. He is everywhere all across the state of Colorado and now all across the country, networking and promoting the work that we're doing here in Colorado for election integrity. So wow. he sends his love. Unfortunately, he's not able to be here with us, but 3 of our members who were able to be there had an amazing time. We met so many different people, and so let's go ahead to next 2 slides. One more. Thank you. Lindsay, would you start us out with some of your takeaways, highlights, and experience getting there and back? I know you guys had a little bit of a fun adventure with that.
Ooh, look out.
Now it's working. Technical difficulties. Thank you guys for being so awesome and patient. The Summit of Truth was amazing, and each one of us sort of knew it was a bit of a mission for El Paso County. We went there with the intent to talk to those who needed to understand what was happening in El Paso County. And so in the course of action, we met a lot of really, really, really fun people. And the one thing that I really would like to let everybody know is that everybody that was there from all 50 states, everybody has the same problem. It may be in a different way, it may present itself in a totally different manner, but everybody has the same problem. Voter fraud is in all 50 states. So even Florida, I had a gentleman come up to me and say, would you believe it's happening in Florida? You know, the great Ron DeSantis, so on and so forth. Guys, it's everywhere. It's not just one state, it's not Colorado. And I met quite a few candidates along with ourselves whose primaries had been stolen. And not just, it's not isolated to just us, and it's not even isolated to candidates who are America First candidates, but even one that was Trump endorsed and his primary was stolen. And so this is an epidemic of sorts all over the United States, and be encouraged, because when you get all of us in a room, you can only imagine what happens when all of us are in a room. So it was incredible. There were some patriots on patriots on patriots on patriots, and we met some incredible people, and I'll let others share about the fantastic patriots that we met. But I know Steve Bannon was a house favorite. I think each one of us had an opportunity to meet and talk with Mr. Bannon, and that was, he's a very kind gentleman, and he said specifically that it is his joy to talk to and to meet all of the patriots up there. We did some great interviews. We kind of popcorned all over the place. I know Linda and I did an interview together, and then Rayanne and Linda did an interview together, and then David did an interview, and we were everywhere. We worked our butts off because we wanted the nation to hear what was happening in Colorado, and we had quite a few individuals who told us Colorado is the tip of the spear. They know what's happening in Colorado. They see it. You know, Paso County is working their butts off. You guys are part of that, and we are the tip of the spear. So be encouraged. It was really a lot of fun. As you can see there, we had the largest contingency. So you see the picture of everybody there right in the middle? All those funny patriots right in the middle? So we had close to 50 patriots in Colorado who were all together. We had the largest, yes, you should point, because no other state had such great representation of patriots who had been working so hard and for so long. Yeah. We had people come, there were people from Hawaii that flew in. Oh, and I want to tell you about the postal lady. Okay, so she's from Boston. Hang on, I don't know where that's have to be angled this way. Okay, so there's a lady, she's from Boston, she's running for Congress, and she was up on the stage and she was talking, and she was a specific to the postal office. She's a big wig in the postal office, and she was talking about how they were using voter fraud through their postal service, and she had identified a specific way. They had used those little return address cards, and they used the voter rolls of the return address cards to harvest ballots, and they were filtering it through the post office in that particular way in Boston. And I hope I'm quoting her correctly because she was incredible. But she is talking about that specifically to her location. So understanding that that's not specific to just her. It's probably specific to every single state, because we all know what happens with mail-in ballots, right? She was just identifying, because she had been in the mix in that particular post office, what was happening there. And so the evidence that they brought forward in each state was really incredible, because it was unique, but it all weaves together. If you can get kind of the picture and the plan, you can see all of the mechanisms that they use to take a vote from us. So you're welcome.
Definitely, that was really exciting how we got to see the perspectives of so many different states and feel that we're not alone, and collectively all our states are able to, from their own individual merit, achieve the goal of eliminating these machines. We're all so close to getting it done, and any one of us could do it for all the rest, and so we know it's just a matter of time before this is finished. Linda, would you mind talking about some of the broadcasters you met and how you were able to get the word out there?
All right. So how many of you were there at the recount and watched us? All right. Awesome. Or 3 scan. I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 scan. That is outstanding. Thank you so much. But if you remember how I was buzzing around from the scanner, one scanner to the other, that's what I was doing at the Mike Lindell. So I was buzzing around, and that was my main goal, is as Lindsay had mentioned, to get the word out nationally. People need to know what's going on here. And so when people ask me, how was it? I'm like, what? I don't know about what the people said, because I was busy hopping around. But I had a great time. What a fantastic time. So unfortunately, you see a lot of my mug up there, but I was trying to get everybody to bring their pictures for the slideshow. But obviously, Steve Bannon, wow. He looked at my slides, some of the information from the rescan, and he was definitely interested in that. And hopefully we get invited on his program. Wendy Rogers, we connected. Obviously, both of us, Air Force, and she's like, how in the world have I never heard of you? And in fact, she was in Denver this weekend, and I got a text from her saying, hey, you want to do dinner? I'm like, I would love to, but I'm doing an interview. I'm like, oh my gosh. But fantastic, and I'd love to network with her more. Marjorie Taylor Greene, oh my gosh. Yeah, I was able to talk with her for about 8 minutes, and when she, in learning about me, it was also, what can I do for you? And she's like, we exchanged information, and I'm looking forward to hearing from her as to connecting and maybe doing some work out there in DC. I swore, when I was working at the Pentagon, I swore I'd never go back to DC. But I tell you what, the call is so strong that I will go back to hell to accomplish what the Lord has called me to do. And Mike Lindell, I've met him before. What a fantastic man and patriot, and all the things that he has done for this country, the cause. It's just like, what more can you say of a person who's willing to take all the arrows and like President Trump, right? That these people are willing to go through and face the persecution because of the love of their country. What else? We had interviews with CanCon. There was a gentleman, I'm forgetting, William Wallace, yes. And you can imagine when we're telling these people our story, their mouths are just dropping, especially when we tell them about the rescan and the test ballots and the stats that I was able to gain from that. Remember, and I said it on the last meeting, many people say, why in the world would you pay for a rescan? You guys, we learned so much, and it's just more information to arm us up for this week. And it's just, it's amazing. You wouldn't think it, but God is allowing us to go through this journey and pick up bits and pieces of the puzzle. And I know there's more, but for sake of time, I'll press on. Any other?
Thanks, Linda.
Okay.
Excellent. 3 questions for you, Rayanne. First, how's the food? 2, what were we scrambling to accomplish over that course, and what did we achieve by the end of that, just through our networking aptitude and who you were talking to? And the third question is, who is your main network that you achieved, the connection that you made?
So the energy at the event was fantastic. It's just like being here, but even bigger, where you know that you're in a room filled with patriots that love their country and that are fighting to figure out how do we fix this problem. And we're all of like-minded, and to see that all 50 states were represented, that people care that much, they would send people to make sure that their state is represented of what is going on in their activity, their community, to take back their country. We did. We interviewed, we networked, we had Red Pill 78 interview as well, and got to meet a bunch of other hosts and people from His Glory and other networks to just say, hey, we're here. El Paso County, we're on the map and we're doing it. And they were very interested to know what's going on in El Paso County, because we kind of started it here with Wayne Williams. So we're dedicated to finishing it here.
So part of this is our fault.